What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Great, great.
How was your bye week? How do you spend that time away?
Yeah, bye week was great. Just playing. We played 10 games, and being 8-2 is a good way to go into the bye week. Getting that huge win on the road in San Francisco was awesome to go onto the bye week with. And I think you think about all of us. We basically for 14, 15 weeks we've been rolling, with training camp and the season. So really went to bye week, spent some time in Mexico, and just kind of chilled and hung out with the family and worked out and did all that too. But just quality time, just trying to rest up a little bit.
You can't control when the bye week falls, but what's the benefit of having it at this point in the season, and especially coming off the win that you guys were coming off?
Well, we've had it in kind of both case scenarios. We've had it earlier on, I feel like, as of late. I don't remember what weeks they've been, but to have it in the middle of the season, and especially how we've been playing on such a high level, I think, and to hopefully go for this final push of the season and playoffs and everything that we want to be able to do. I think it's a great time for all of us. I think it's also a great time for the younger guys who just came into the NFL their first year. They're used to playing 12, maybe 14 games. So we're kind of right around that area too for them. So I think that's really key too as well. You think about for a rookie, he's played the 10 games plus the 4 preseason games. That's 14 games there. So just kind of get that refresher, kind of hit the reset button and come back and get ready to roll against a very, very good Eagles team. And they got a lot of great players on their team. So we got to be ready to go.
Do you do any self-assessment during the bye, or do you detach completely?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think that I always try to watch the film, all the games again and all the cut-ups, and just try to figure out what we can do more of, and as a team, as an offense, just kind of think about the games and okay, what happened there, what happened here, what could I have done better, what would I have done differently, if anything, and what do those look like? And it's been a great start so far, but it's just the start. We got more places to go, more things to do, and just constantly working. I think the biggest thing is just always. One of my things I always say is back to the basics. Just focus on the basics, especially when you're on the bye week and as you're training. I was training with Decker and trainer and stuff like that, and just focus on the fundamentals, focus on the little things, because you're gone for a week and everything else. So just to be able to do those little things right, and continue that throughout the season, because I think the best teams are the ones who do the little things right, and hopefully we can do that.
Take the trainer to Mexico with you?
Yeah. He rolls with.
What do you think the biggest factors have been for you guys' success on the road so far?
I think our biggest thing that we've been able to do, on the road is just come together. I think that going on the road sometimes is a great thing as well, just because you fly together. We're going all the way across the country, going to Pittsburgh, going wherever we're going to different places, going to Atlanta. Obviously, with this week and everything else, and just I think just having that bonding moment, that's really key with everybody, especially with the young team. I think that's great. Our fans travel really well. I think that's a big thing too, to be honest with you. Every place we've gone, it feels like, it's partially a home game. It's in some way. The fans get there early pregame and everything else too for us. And even in Pittsburgh, where there's mostly towels flying around, we had a lot of fans pregame there, and that just means a lot to us, I think, as we travel. And then I think ultimately it comes down to execution. I think making key plays when the game's on the line, when it's tight, I think about guys just making crucial plays from the defense, how well the defense played on the road this past week, and how well we've played on offense too throughout the season, and all the things we've been able to do. We've been able to score a lot of points, and I think that gives us a chance.
What's your relationship like with Carson Wentz?
Carson, I've gotten to know over the years. I've always loved watching him play. Ever since he got in the NFL, heard a lot about him in college, and just heard this guy was really a great player, super strong Christian guy, and I think I love how he puts the Lord first. I love how he plays the game. I love his grit that he plays with. He just seems to find a way to always make a key play, just when you're watching him, and he's been spectacular for the Eagles organization. So I got a lot of respect for him. We've connected too on some foundation stuff, and I know he does the AO1 stuff, audience of one, and just some cool stuff that we've been able to connect on.
When did that start?
Whenever he got into the NFL. I think the first time he played him, I really connected, and then after that, we've kind of connected a few other times.
There's a lot of debate going on about the MVP race, mainly involving you and Lamar. Do you pay much attention to that?
I don't pay attention to it. I got to pay attention to who we're playing this week. I think it's great to be in the conversation. I think at the end of the day, you want to be, when I come into the season, I'm trying to be the best player, in the National Football League every time I step on the field, every time I get a chance to play. I think that's just the reality, which is all great and all well, but I don't think about the outside stuff. The reality is what helps is winning. What helps is finding a way to win in tough moments and everything else, and I look forward to that opportunity just to play one game at a time, one moment at a time, and just embrace it all. It's a great thing I think about where I've come from, being a guy, 5'11" from Richmond, Virginia, where a lot of people told me I wouldn't be able to do it, and just be able to play in the league. It means a lot just to be able to have this opportunity to play the game. And I take every opportunity as much as I can and really try to, cherish it, really try to take advantage of it. And I'm just grateful every day, So that's really what I love doing, is just playing with the guys and playing with, and just working the preparation part of it. That's the fun part of this process. And hopefully by the end of the year, we can win a Super Bowl.
Philly's defense is one of the best at stopping the run. You face teams that have been good at stopping the run and still managed to do it. Is that more because of the style of running that Chris Carson and Penny do, or is it the persistence at continuing to try?
I think we've always been a great running team, and then really with Coach Solari, I think he's done a great job with the guys up front. I think our guys have taken the responsibility of trying to be great up front. I think you go back to last year, we're number one rushing team in the league. So we're a pretty good running team. We got a lot of great players up front. There's those big guys up front, and Fluke and Joey's been doing a great job stepping in for Britt. You got a big Mike in there. Obviously you got Dwayne and Ifedi. I think Hollister's been doing a great job blocking. Even though he's not the biggest guy, he's strong. He does a great job with his assignments. And then in terms of the running backs, they're spectacular running the football physically, downhill and all that. So I think it's a mixture of our offense. I think Schottenheimer's doing a great job of calling different things and mixing it up and trying to give them different looks and everything else in terms of our passing, running, throwing, all that stuff. So it's a great thing to have versatility.
What are you seeing out of Philly's defense? Looks like they've improved a lot in the last few weeks in terms of the numbers.
Well, with Philly, they've the record doesn't show, how talented they really are. I think that when you turn on the film, you think, man, these guys are flying around. They're all over the place. They've won some big games. They've lost some tough ones too. So I think the reality is they've got all the players that they've had for the most part, when they won the Super Bowl for the most part, and they got a lot of other, talented players that they've brought in and stuff. So, I think, with us, it's really about us being detailed. It's us, making sure that we're executing what we need to do, because we know that they're going to bring their best game. I think Coach Peterson's a great coach. They got a great quarterback in Carson Wentz. He's been one of the best guys. He's, for years now that he's been in the league, and I think that. In terms of their defense, they got a lot of talent, a lot of vets too. Guys who really know what they're doing. I think about Cox. I think about Graham. I think about Jenkins, great player. I think about McLeod in the back end. I think about all the guys that they have, the versatility at corner. They're linebackers, even though they're young, and they can really fly around and make some plays. So we got to be ready to roll. And then even Vinny Curry comes in the game, and he's really a starter. When you think about the kind of player that he is over the years. So we just got to be on our stuff and make sure that we're prepared for what Coach Schwartz is going to do and all the different things that he does in terms of his play calling and everything else.
Have you seen Josh Gordon the couple weeks you've been with him now? Just kind of his progression and how you're getting to know him and everything?
Yeah, Josh has been special for us. Obviously, in the game, he made two crucial plays. But I think that when he got here, that first week he was here, we got to spend some time together at the house and watch a bunch of film and just quality time together and just get him prepared that way. And then he was doing all of his due diligence, taking notes like crazy, highlighting like crazy, all those little things that matter to be a champion. I think that he definitely has, and I think he's got a great opportunity to retell his story. I think he's an amazing guy. I think he works extremely hard. He's passionate about the game. He's cool, calm, and collected, and I think that he's got a great opportunity, and I think that he's been playing great for us in the first game, and hopefully we can carry that on.
Jadeveon can certainly bring the juice on defense and on the sidelines. At what point during the game do you get to appreciate what he is doing to an opposing offense?
Pretty much all game. I think with Clowney, since I remember playing him when we were here, and just the factor that he was in our game. He was all over the place. I was trying to run away from this guy and couldn't do it too often. And so I just remember what a force he was when he was playing for the Texans, and then for us to acquire him and get him onto our team, it's been an amazing addition. I think, with what John Schneider was able to do to get him to our team, and it's been great for us. I think Clowney is the epitome of what a Seahawk is. I think he's a guy who is very passionate about what he does. I think he's a guy who's got all the talent in the world, and I think ultimately cares about his teammates. And it's a lot of fun to be in the locker room with him. And then on the field, it's even better because he's making plays, and he's bringing the juice on the sideline, and he's just great, in every scenario that you could imagine. I mean, I see why he was the #1 pick, one because of his talent, but because of his character and how he brings the game. So really love playing with him and what he's been able to do for us.
Anything else? Thanks, Russ. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you got one more. Yeah.
So going back to the 49ers game and really over the course of your career, you've shown yourself to be so poised and relaxed in those big moments and situations. How have you been able to hone that skill throughout the years?
I think it's something I've always tried to focus on. I think the mental side of the game is everything to me. I think the physical part's one thing. I think a lot of people can play, but I think the reality is for me is, how can I always, have an advantage? And I think that ever since I was a young kid, the mental part was a big part for me. How my mom and my dad raised me, and I think faith is a big part. And I think the last piece is I work at it. I work at the mind part. I think, every day I'm pretty much talking to Trevor Moad, who's my mental coach, and a guy who I always constantly am talking to, and I think that's a big part of it. I think for me, just trying to stay neutral. I'm not trying to be too high, too low. Just focus on the task at hand, try to get the mission accomplished, but yet still stay upbeat, and no matter what the circumstances are, and just staying focused and having great language. I think is a major part of that. I think how we speak to each other, how we speak in the locker room, how we go about our business, and how we go about our preparation is critical. And then when the game's on the line, giving guys a visual of what's going to happen, and just giving guys a belief that something great's going to happen, because a lot of times something great does. And why wouldn't you believe? And so I really firmly believe that. I really believe in why not us, and just why can't we be the best in the world?
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Go Hawks.
Thanks.
Yep.